Hi, Scorpio. The Ace of Wands is on the bottom of the deck to start us off. The Ace of Fire. And this reading is for anyone who identifies with or is very interested in a Scorpio at this time. It is, of course, the very end of April 2019 as I'm recording this. So we will look at the entirety of Taurus season 2019, Scorpios. Look back to see how it started, beginning with the full moon in Libra, really. And it looks good so far. The 9 of Water and the 10 of Pentacles. I'm just going to face it toward me for now, and then I'll flip it around toward you here in a few minutes. That looks beautiful. It looks like emotional fulfillment, self-love, self-care. Being so self-satisfied emotionally, that really one's only danger from there is being almost too smug, Scorpios, excuse me. Cross with the 10 of Earth, the 10 of Pentacles, security. Security. Mastering skills or securing income, a raise, a job, a new job, career, or just a new maintaining new duties, a promotion, or just you know, a bonus, an influx of income, or maintaining one's empire, whatever that is for you, Scorpios. Sorry about the background racket. And this is coming from, for you, a time of just recently. So probably, like we said, around around the beginning of Taurus season at that Libra full moon. I was just thinking Saturn is also retrograde today. I was interested in specifically these Taurus season spreads revolving around that. And I forgot in Pisces reading, I think yours, we're only 4 minutes in, I think yours really will. Honestly, I think Pisces reading probably did as well, because that was what was in my mind and my heart when I was planning these readings, was my interest in Saturn retrograde and Capricorn's effect on all of us. But it was just gonna, the cookie was just gonna crumble to where was just going to get to see what it meant for, I guess, like 6 of you, just because of the way April's readings have gone. And I am sorry, Scorpio, but again, it looks great. Sorry that it took me so long, to get an April reading out for you. And I'll turn around and do May readings here shortly as well, I'm sure, but or attempt to anyway. but it looks great at present, and it looks like it's coming from a period at the beginning of Taurus season 2019 of for everyone, for at least these last two signs I've done, Pisces and Virgo, and now for you as well, Scorpio, this period of let me see here, sorry. Shedding the old energies, places, people, patterns, behaviors, habits, maybe thought patterns, ways of speaking, maybe to yourself. Anything, or you know, something else unnamed here. But I think it was someone or something that truly hurt you, broke your heart, and also was painful then to shed, even though it had hurt you, it had broken your heart, whatever, whomever. And you bounced back nicely, you know, is what I'm getting at, what I'm saying, I guess, Scorpio. Some of you immediately after the whatever had broke your heart even started to feel much more like yourself than you had in a while. Well, we're feeling comfortable in your skin, even as you had to let someone go, even as external communications were painful. But in any case, at this point, as this message reaches you, in general, Scorpios have been showing themselves the self-care, the self-love, the TLC, the personal, individual TLC that one would hope to experience post-heartbreak. And so your material world, Scorpio, your home, your work life, your resources, your income, your material wealth, your material world, maybe even other relationships as well. Your home, your empire, maybe your business, your money, your hours at work, etc. Is in turn flourishing. Heartbreak is sneaky though, and now this isn't going to resonate with everyone, but for those Scorpios who, you know, had a heartbreak at the beginning of April and have been shedding old ways, people, patterns, places, habits, whatever, probably in association with whatever broke your heart, disappointed you, was offering you certainly disappointing communication, painful communication in April. And was likely connected to you shedding old skin, so to speak, the beginning of Taurus season, right? And then you've been doing the self-care, the self-love, seeing the flourishing in your material world, and can probably connect those two things as well. The self-care to your mental and emotional world, and then the flourishing in your material world, right? Okay. But you know, if it, you know, like I said, it's not going to resonate for everyone, but for those who do resonate with that, the path that you're on now is leading to a sort of a setback, a dip, a drawback, of a valley here, because like I said, you know, heartbreak can be sneaky, and you feel that you're over this situation. Maybe it was a 3-party situation and you feel that you've let go of this person or this job that you really wanted, maybe, or this this version of yourself, this whole habit that you had. It was probably a person for a lot of you, but this habit that you had, maybe it was like I said, for some of you it was a version of yourself. It was a way of a negative way of talking to yourself, thinking about yourself. Negative habit, a painful, harmful habit that you've had for a while as a way of dealing with other kinds of pain in your life. Something that you turn to when you feel out of control, like an addict. Again, for a lot of you, a person, or some detrimental, harmful, unhealthy way of being, something that's toxic for you. You return to it in the near future on the path that you're on now, if this has resonated so far. And we're going a little over what I meant to here, Scorpio, but see, like I said, most of you, if you resonate with the message, you can probably feel also the fact that the self-love, the self-care, the emotional and mental TLC that you are giving yourself as you transform, as you begin to heal a broken heart, right? Start to be reborn, right? Start to begin to heal and to be reincarnated in a way, to be reset in a way. Rebirthed as this stronger, better, happier, healthier, cleaner, fresher, more aware, more authentic version of yourself, right? I think you really did love this. Whatever has broken your heart, you really did love it. You had real love for it. If it was a really painful, harmful, nasty habit of yours, then what I mean is you had found real love for that version of yourself. But you know that the truth is that that version of yourself, or this person that you loved, or something that you loved that did make some version of you truly happy, I think, for most of you anyway. Gave you some version of hope at a certain point in time, Scorpios. You know that it has to go, that it has to be a memory, it has to be part of the past. This was facing the other way. You do know that. And yet I just feel that you regress because there was real love for this person or this version of yourself. Yeah. The advice is to focus on work. The advice is to focus on work because you're gonna the path that you're on now is that you're on a path where you're destined to in the near future. So I'd say at least by the end of Taurus season 2019, maybe sooner, you're destined to regress, to feel like you can't escape this thing, some part of what you've been trying to shed. Sometimes the death card is trying to shed many things at once, but certainly an old version of yourself. That may be what I mean you have real love for, the version of yourself that fell victim to this person, this pattern, this way, this habit. Certainly there was this version of yourself you had found some love for at a certain point. That could be most of what we're talking about, you having trouble walking away from. This is also the second 8. 8s are talking about prosperity, which is what's right on the other side of this, you know, just showing real love for yourself in a different way. It's showing real love for your future self, your possibilities, your prospects, your current self. Well, you know, and this sounds maybe strange, even if the rest has resonated, because you're currently, as the message finds you, at this place where you are experiencing this abundance of self-love and this abundance flourishing around you. And I don't mean to, you know, encourage this prophecy to come true. That's why I was sort of tiptoeing into this, and why the message is now so long and taking so long, is because it can't be for everyone, but especially if you're prone to this type of thing that I'm describing, this emotional wave up and down, there's this advice, this encouragement to focus on work, to focus on that which is flourishing in a material way externally. This is talking about not only, you know, security, and like I said, maybe a raise, a promotion, a new job, or just maintaining this security, the home, the relationships, even the current career, etc., something like that you have now. Something, when I say something like that, I mean something tangible, something usually connected to monetary, your coins, like you see here, but you know, your work, like you see here, but certainly something material, something tangible, something that you work on and that is rewarding and gives security to you, right? Focus on that, because you're on a path, and we can change this. You can change this. You can make choices to change this now, where it's just hard for you to walk with and own the truth that this that you that you have recently shed, like I said, for almost all of you, definitely connected to what has broken your heart as well in the beginning of 2019, but for most of you, I feel like in April 2019, carrying the truth that some part of what has been shed here in the recent past, with the Death card here, carrying that truth, this heavy, heartbreaking, it's a stabbing pain for some of you. It's heavy. It's awkward to carry around. It's a message I think you maybe even have for others in how to deal with it, what you're going through. At least someone else, if not multiple people, and so there's the likelihood that on the path you're on now, that there'll be some regression in the near future. Like I said, I would say definitely by the end of Taurus season at the latest. And then by the end of May 2019, we have you obsessing over this past that you feel bound up by, whatever it is, the person, the place, the habit, the pattern, the version of yourself that you can't let go of, that you just can't seem to walk away from. It's just blocking this calmer, happier mental and emotional state, and really you experiencing what it's like when your karma is totally clear. Now that, you know, that is also represented here by the Judgment card, can certainly mean, especially in this deck, this version, that some consequences are in order before that karma is clear. But this, not necessarily for you watching the video, or the querent here in this case. Not necessarily. Sure, it goes both ways. But I think we're near where we're going to leave this. Just know that on the bottom of the deck with the Three of Pentacles, this is about work that you love to do. This boils down to you focusing on work that you love to do, finding gratitude that you're not currently experiencing, because you're really, I think, focused on trying not to leave something behind. And do you have to leave behind all that you feel you've lost here? You're so focused on that you're not appreciating what you still have around you. And there's really this emphasis on, this should be about you focusing on work you love to do. Just start doing some part of that work. Just start doing it. Yes, you love this thing. Yes, it's a hard truth to bear. But if you keep obsessing, you're going to regress sooner than you think for some. Sooner rather than later, you're going to regress and feel bound up and feel like you can't move on. And then your obsession will turn to like this place of possibly illogical, not really making sense, right? Justifying painful, nostalgic, confused, depressed feelings and calling it logic, right? That can be the Queen of Swords on her head, and then just ending up being bitchy and irritated and grouchy with everyone around you, right? Like electrified toxicity getting at everybody around you. Or it can be like a surge of creative lightning that you channel into your work, that which is currently flourishing, which it should be easy to convince yourself to do, because it's at present it looks like it's flourishing. And it looks like there is some project, some work, collaboration maybe around you that you do love to do, Scorpios. If you haven't been recently feeling very much comfortable in your own skin, a lot like yourself, then doing that work, even if it's just a hobby, whatever that, something with your hands, again, with the Pentacles, something that you can touch or that produces something you can touch, tangible, but that would make you feel that comfortable in your skin, feeling, or help to maintain it either way, right? Whether you have been or haven't been. But we were talking about possible consequences connected with your karma. There's also the Six of Fire here behind that. So I feel like even if there are some consequences, regardless if it's for that person or for you or for both of you, or maybe just the consequence of not being able to be around each other, or something of that nature, there's a victory on the other side of facing the fallout from this death. Really, there's been a death of someone, something, like I said, at least an old version of yourself. But for a lot of you, there's someone else that's gone with it. I think I will leave it in your capable hands from there, Scorpios. It's a struggle and a change that leads right into your prosperity if you lean into this opportunity to focus on work that you love to do and try to find gratitude for the fact that it is an opportunity to do that. I think you have more fights than celebration going on currently, maybe even in the near future. More disappointment than gratitude. But even if it's just an opportunity to focus on what is flourishing, and that is your material world now, and continuing to make time for the self-care that's supporting that as well. And maintaining the relationships that are going well by not, as we said at the very beginning of the recording, by not becoming too smug in that either. Yes, you're allotted a lot of time for self-care and healing, and that part of evolution. After a heartbreak and a death and a transformation like this, that's been required because of a real love and heartbreak. Sure, of course. And of course you're allotted a lot of time and energy to be channeled then subsequently into, like we said, your empire, your work, and the work that you love to do, and the collaborations that are supporting you, making you more of who you want to be. Of course. But as all that time goes into yourself and your work and your self-care and your work, and you're graduating to new levels of being and understanding because of that, you know, just don't forget that's happening because you're ignoring other areas of your life, other connections, other relationships, etc. People in your life are being understanding about that, right? You don't want to get smug about any of that leveling up or that graduating or any of the positive effects that come from all that self-care and channeling all that time into you and your work, right? Just to circle back to what we said at the very beginning, Scorpios. I'll let you set with that for just one minute. Let me just look at where everything is today. Of course, the sun's in Taurus. The moon is in Pisces, Scorpio, Mercury and Venus, of course, are still in Aries, and Mars is still in Gemini, of course. Jupiter's still in Sagittarius, of course. Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'll put that in your title or your description or something. I don't know a lot about Saturn going retrograde and in Capricorn, little tidbits that I've heard. But I guess that's why I wanted some of these readings to be about that, to illuminate that. Maybe it'll connect for you even more than it has for me, Scorpios. Chiron in Aries, true node in Cancer still, and then Pluto in Capricorn as well, we knew that. Neptune in Pisces. Uranus, of course, in Taurus. Well, we see where we're heading. We see where we are heading and where we are correcting, right? I think this has come across clearly, Scorpios, right? Straight toward a dip where you are bound back up by the same limiting beliefs that you've been trying to shed, connected to someone or something that you're unable to walk away from, and then consequently so obsessed with that past that you are harsh with others around you. There's certainly a double warning here about that. Feels like lots of swords, energy, and just illogical about the past that you're obsessing over. So again, we'll leave it in your capable hands from there. If you need a private reading from me, Scorpios, just scroll down to the description box below. Check out the links and really all the information that you need there. But you can also, of course, email me at LunarticksTarot@gmail.com. Happy to work with you starting out that way as well. More than happy, as I'd say half or more clients like to start out with a discussion. Either way is fine. And either way, thank you so much, all of you, for all of your support to Lunartics Tarot. I hope you make wise choices for yourselves moving forward. Don't feel boxed in or determined by anything that's laid out here. This is a snapshot of the path that you're on now. Of course, it can't resonate with everyone always, but even if it does, it's, like I said, just a snapshot of the path you're on now, and the purpose is often to change this near future and outcome position. And we can, like I said, always expand on it if you want to get more specific. So I love you very much, Scorpios, and I will post another reading for you very soon, probably for May very soon.